The Battle of Ain Jalut is one of the most significant battles in world Islamic history, as it marked a decisive turning point in the fight against the Mongols, who posed a grave threat to the Middle East and the Islamic world. To understand the full scope of this battle, we must first look at the lands occupied by the Mongols, then explore the Muslim territories that were in defensive mode against this threat. Finally, we will delve into the details of the battle and its far-reaching consequences that had lasting political and military impacts. First, lands occupied by the Mongols. In the early 13th century, the Mongol Empire emerged under the leadership of Genghis Khan from Mongolia, north of China. The Mongols began their rapid expansion by conquering China, and later extended their reach to Central Asia, modern-day Iran, and parts of Europe. In 1258, the Mongols delivered a major blow by destroying Baghdad, the capital of the Abbasid Caliphate, and killing the Caliph al-Mustasim, which led to the collapse of the Abbasid Caliphate. After the fall of Baghdad, the Mongols continued their advance into the Levant, including Syria, and were on the verge of reaching Egypt. With their territory expanding rapidly, the Mongols were seen as an unstoppable force threatening the entire Islamic world. 2. Muslim lands under Islamic control. At the same time, several powerful Muslim states existed, such as the Fatimid Caliphate in Egypt and the Mamluks, who had recently established their control over Syria and Egypt after the fall of the Fatimids. The Mamluk Sultanate, which began in Egypt after 1250, was one of the most formidable military powers in the region, with Sultan Qutuz at its helm. Although the Mamluks were still in the early stages of consolidation, they had managed to reorganize their forces and prepare for the Mongol threat. The time had come for them to either defend the Islamic world or face the complete annihilation of their lands. The Battle of Ain Jalut would prove to be the defining moment in defending the Middle East from Mongol occupation. 3rd reasons for the Battle of Ain Jalut. In 1260, the Mongols, under the command of Hulagu Khan, advanced toward Egypt after conquering Syria and Damascus, thinking that the road to Egypt would be open for them. Sultan Qutuz and the Mamluks knew that this was a critical moment. They realized that the outcome of this battle would not only determine the fate of their lands, but also the survival of the Islamic world. Before the battle, Hulagu Khan sent a threatening message to Sultan Qutuz, stating, "I am Hulagu Khan. I have destroyed Baghdad, and now I will destroy you. No one can stand in my way." This message was meant to intimidate the Muslims, but it had the opposite effect. It spurred Sultan Qutuz and his commanders, including the prominent military leader Baybars, to rally their forces for the impending confrontation. The message and its impact on the battle. Hulagu Khan's letter was a direct threat to the honor of the Muslims and aimed to instill fear in them. However, when Sultan Qutuz received the letter, he made a decisive choice. Instead of succumbing to fear, he chose to respond with military action. He declared to his commanders either victory or martyrdom. These words galvanized the Muslim forces, strengthening their resolve to fight. As for Baybars, one of the most skilled military leaders in the Mamluk army, the letter from Hulagu was seen as a personal challenge. Baybars took it upon himself to prepare his troops for the battle ahead and to coordinate the strategies that would lead them to victory. His military expertise and determination played a crucial role in the success of the Mamluks. Details of the Battle of Ain Jalut. On September 3, 1260, the armies met at the Battle of Ain Jalut near Bisan, Palestine. The battle was a decisive confrontation between the Mongol forces, led by the general Ketboga, and the Mamluks, led by Sultan Qutuz. Initially, the Mongol forces had a numerical and technological advantage, as they were renowned for their horsemen and cavalry. However, the Mamluks utilized unconventional tactics. One of the key factors that worked in the Mamluks' favor was their use of the terrain. The mountainous landscape allowed them to maneuver and conduct surprise attacks effectively. Baybars, in particular, had identified weaknesses in the Mongol lines, and this allowed the Mamluks to launch precise strikes at key points. Despite the Mongols' numerical superiority, the Mamluks used their strategic position and cavalry maneuvers to devastating effect. By the end of the battle, the Mongols were routed and their forces were scattered. This marked the first major defeat the Mongols had suffered in an open-field battle. Conclusion: the Battle of Ain Jalut was a pivotal moment in Islamic and world history. It not only stopped the Mongol expansion, but also reshaped the political landscape of the region. The Mamluks emerged as a major power, and the battle's impact was felt for centuries, preserving Islamic civilization from Mongol destruction and shaping the course of the Middle East's future.